All right, in previous fence building video, you got to see my post hole digger, and it kind of just frustrated me the other day after that, and I had enough. So I sold it. So we're gonna take it off of the tractor, and yeah, it's going away. We'll talk more about that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. I bought this thing probably, oh, I don't know. It's probably been 10 years ago by now. And anyway, bought it to try to make my life easier. And out of all that time I've owned it, I figured up a while ago, I have dug 53 post holes with it in my lifetime of owning it. And people would borrow it, tractor and all, and it would be gone for months at a time, never would come back. And when it would come back, stuff was always tore up on it. And that really kind of frustrated me finally after a while. You know, there used to be a shield here that got ripped off when it was wrapped up with wire. The plastic got mangled while it was using, so I had to saw it off. The power takeoff one time came back, it was split entirely up the length, and then just a little section was holding it, and when I tried to dig a post hole, it immediately twisted off. So that meant I had to spend a couple $100 putting a power takeoff shaft on it. And you know, just the wear and tear was not put on by me as much as everybody else who used it. And it just, the other day, I finally had enough. And I noticed when we were at the farm machinery show that they have changed the way they make them, and it kind of got me on that train of thought back then, but I wasn't going to do anything about it. But the other day I finally had enough, because like when we're digging this hole, I'm always by myself. I don't have several people helping me. So like when it would want to kink over and dig sideways, I don't have another person here to help stabilize it and stuff. So that's fine. I asked the people who borrowed it if they want to buy it, and they did. So that's what's happening. So they're going to get this one because they get along with it just fine. There's nothing wrong with it other than the stuff that's been wrong with it the whole time from, you know, and they know that because a lot of that happened while they had it. So there you go. So what to do then? I am not done building my fence, and I'm also not going to go back to digging stuff by hand. So this happened. Bought me a brand new one again, and this one is never leaving home. Nobody else is getting to use this one. That way it might be still nice when I want to use it every time, and anything that goes wrong with it I can only blame on myself, and that's kind of a nice thing to do. The other thing we will see as this becomes more apparent, you can see how the tube design has changed, and now we have welded on like a piece of, not really channel iron, but a formed piece, and it's the same width as the tube. So now if it wants to wear and kink over sideways, it really can't do that thing unless it wears out a whole bunch of surface area. And so I thought, hey, I thought about buying like a used heavier one, you know, like a Danuser, whatever, and then I thought, no, I'm just gonna buy one of these. I've got along with this fine. If this is taken care of, it should last my entire life. People commented in the last video how these gearboxes are about indestructible, and I don't think they've changed anything on them in a long time. So that should mean that parts availability is excellent. So it will never be easier to put this on than it will this first time, because when it's in pieces, you can lift all the pieces one at a time and make it happen. And then it's not awkward to maneuver. So we'll sail through this, I hope, here in a second. Another thing I like about the new design, it came with a set of stands when I want to take it off the tractor. And that's kind of nice because I like this tractor, but it's always been tied up with this post hole digger for a long, long time. So now with those stands, it will be somewhat easier to make that happen. And also it has a long handle with it so that I might guide it from the seat. And that's another thing. Yeah, I could have made one on my own, but yeah, it was just easier to buy this new one. And I mean, I kicked in some of my own money to buy this, but I didn't feel that that was out of line. So, you know, I got what I thought was fair for that one, and now I got this new one for me. So we're gonna get started. I guess the first order of business is gonna be taking that old one off the tractor and somehow wrestling it out of the way so that we can, yeah, take it over there and deliver it to him. You can watch me struggle. I don't even know. Oh, God. I'm trying to remember what the easiest way to do this is, and I think it's to take the top link part out first and then let the weight hit the ground. Probably would be better to put this on the ground first so that the weight is not hanging up in the air. That would do that. So another thing, whilst we have this here, I do not like this 3-point hitch. It is a cheap made piece of garbage. And when I bought the tractor, I was going to take it off, but then when I got this post hole digger, that's the only reason I kept it, because it does work good for that. However, I see that it has worked its way loose probably a little bit, and it really should probably be slid in. Although I don't think I can do that way, so maybe it's just that it's bent. But this seems to have a lot of slop in between the two pieces. I guess that it's just kind of spread eagled itself over time a little bit. Yeah, because the bottom is holding it rigid, so it is what it is, but it works. And that's the only reason I kept it, because of this post hole digger. And you can, I used a piece of chain to do it before, but what I need to do is drill me a hole. You could actually make this have down pressure. If you connect this piece to this piece, it will pull down. So that's kind of nice too in some jobs if you need down pressure 3-point hitch. So that's the only reason I've kept it. It's awkward, it looks ugly, but it does work good for stuff like this. So now, I need to get this off of here, which includes taking bushings off. There it came. All right, so, oh, there it is. It's still in there. I was gonna say, the other bushing, we're gonna probably need that. Ooh, our balls are rusty. We need to get some lube for our balls. I have to do that next time we're in town. Ball lube. Try to remember that. Okay, it's time to start unpacking. Oh, there's another one down there. What else? Well, let's get that out of there. Will that pull out of there? No, not yet. All right. Look at this beautiful brand new paint. Something I would like to enjoy. Oh, I was gonna say, there should be a book, and I bet it's in the tube. Which, like my tube on that one, came back, broke off one time. You know? There's the good stuff. I'm gonna put this back away. Well, let's put it back in the little baggie first. Alright, now this ain't rocket science, okay? I see everything is loose though, so it still would be easier to do this on the tractor. I'm going to stick this through the arms, and then I'll get the appropriate combination of things to tighten this up before we go any farther. 1 5/16 inches. Yes, there we go. That was a struggle, friends, to find the right thing. Now, come on, don't do that. Sure. Let's check out our bag of hardware. It came with stuff and things, and I like that. I like that they actually had some thought into this one. That little doohickey there is when you take it off, you slide your power takeoff over that, and it keeps it up out of the dirt. So that was nice. I believe that this is that, which means that this would go here. So that's that. So we need to get our main tube loose now. Okay. Stands and the handle. And what do we got next? Well, we're going to put our pin back through first. Then we're going to put this in there. There. See, this is really no way that this can kink all the way over unless your slots would get very wore everywhere. So I think this is going to be a better design over time, but we will see. Now the next order of business would be to hang the gearbox on there, so we might, you know, be able to deal with that. Now, one thing I don't like about this one that I liked about my other one had a grease fitting on there at one time, so you could grease that. So I believe I will pack that full of grease before we ever start, and then we'll hang it on there. Will a finger fit in there? I hope. We could drill and tap this for grease, or we could just forget it. Come on. There. Sure. Now, the underneath guard has changed, and that is because it is made also to hold those stands. So they got kind of clever, whereas if you want your stands, you got to participate in safety. And I'm cool with that because I never had trouble with that guard. But like I said, it came back ripped off one time. So we will stick this on there, and then we should be right along our way. There's really nothing to these. It's just basically slapping a few parts together. Sure. Woohoo! It would probably be better if I raised you up slightly so I can put that auger on. So that worked relatively painlessly. We do now need to tighten these bolts. We also have to fill this gearbox with oil, so don't let me forget that. Here we're going to try to tighten these. Maybe I want to go this into this one. I'm hoping my old augers fit too, because I've got more than one. They should. It's very similar. Sure. Someone at the factory forgot to tighten all the bolts. Ain't that nice? Sure. Power takeoff shaft. Well, all right, new battery. So we're ready for the second round here. Got that all put together. We still have to fill it with oil, but we are going to make a modification, which people are going to go, how could you dare you? But we're going to cut the center of this plastic out, and the reason is because of this. Sometimes when you get into a hole and you drive away from said hole, maybe it won't do it with, well, it will, and it'll bend the handle here. Let me take this red handle out so I can show you what's going to happen. Because this is nothing. It will bend this whenever this occurrence happens. But what happens is you get into a situation where when you drive away from the hole, the thing does this, and it doesn't take much when it gets to swinging that it will pull that out, and then it does that right there. And it is super duper annoying when that happens, because the only way to fix it is to get off the tractor and do whatever. So like on the other one, even though you're not supposed to, I cut enough out of it where it doesn't do that thing. And I'm the only one using it, so it's not a big deal. There, see? Now, no matter what happens or what way it swings, it won't hit that. And before you go all grit on me, how dare you? Like I said, I've used it for years like this and never had trouble. It's a lot less hassle. See how it naturally wants to hang backwards? That's another reason why this handle will be nice, because I can hold it from the seat or do whatever I need to do. If I need to back up to a hole like this and drop it in or something, in theory, this should be a lot better. Now for this task. We got to put oil in it. 80-90, she says. Oh, gear oil, you flow so great. This actually isn't too bad, but empty so soon. Good thing I brought more than one. I think we're nearing the top. There's a test plug on the side. And I would say we're there. Just based on the way she goes, I would say we're there. Yep. All right, let's give her a test run. Oh yeah. You should be able to touch this and stop it. So there we have it. Brand new post hole digger, old post hole digger, which I'll take over to its new home. But sure enough, that's what I want. I like this design. Like I said, I think much more better. I don't know if a guy ought to move it to a different hole. I've always been like in that second one. So that's why I put this one. And then it just, I mean, it's not, it doesn't raise as high as it would. I don't know. I might try that on this one for just fun and just put it in the first hole and see if that makes it just so much better. But I know it will work like this because that's how I've been using the other one. So yeah, I'm happy. Updated piece of equipment for not that much money, really, in the grand scheme of things. And I think it's going to be super more handy for me. Just because, yeah, I can take it off easy with the stands, and I think we got us something, friends. I think we got us something. Do you enjoy seeing a basic white man in his middle 30s struggling at life? If so, hit that thumbs up and leave us a comment, because all of that stuff is supposed to help us out and grow the channel, and we can keep making more stuff like what you just saw. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.